Good morning, Algebra kids. I'm going to try and go through the review with you guys a little bit. Hopefully you've already done it. This was assigned yesterday, so you should have this review complete. And I'm going to do maybe the first 9 questions on one video, and on a second video do the last 10, and that way all the multiple choice will be done. Certainly do this review before you take your Castle Learning Test, which will be on Thursday. That test will be open from 8 in the morning until 11:59 p.m. the following day, Friday. So you have 2 days to complete 25 multiple choice questions on Castle Learning. But for now, let's just start with number 1. And I'm going to go relatively quick, so stay with me. When they use the word vertex, all they mean is what is the turning point. So when I look at this picture and I look for where it's going to turn around, right there. And I just need the XY coordinates. So on the X, I'm over 1, 2, 3. And on the Y, we're up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 3, 6 is the vertex, and we should choose choice 4. Okay, move to the next question. This one has a quadratic function that's described with the coordinates in the table here below. And it says if its domain, if you remember, the domain just means the x values, is all the real numbers. So you can put any x value in you want. And its range is, remember, the range is the y values. So what they want to know from us is, what is the range? And if you look closely, you can see this turning point right here in the middle. That's the vertex. And you'll notice that as you build out from there, you'll see the pretty symmetry, 7s, 10s. So that's definitely the turning point. And it looks like, as far as y values go, 6 is the lowest. So that means if 6 is the lowest, that means your range is from 6 and everything higher than 6. So we can use infinity. So from 6 to infinity. Include the 6. Of course, you can never include infinity, so look for that. Choice number 3. Okay, moving right along. Number 3. There it is. Sorry, kids. All right, here we go. Which of the following quadratic functions has a maximum value of 16? Well, a maximum value, that means that it's like a parabola that has a turning point all the way up at 16, and everything else is below it. Now, because they're saying it's a maximum, now you know that the parabola opens downwards. And if the parabola opens downwards, you know that the a value has to be negative. Remember, a value is in front of x squared. This positive one opens up. This one here, the a value is still out in front here. Positive 1 opens up. Positive a value opens up. This one, even though it's jumbled and a little out of order, the negative is still in front of the x squared. This does open down. And we're going with choice 2. And we are done there. Last question on the page. Which of the following could be the equation of the quadratic shown below? Now take a look at the hints that they're giving us. This is the y-intercept. And if the y-intercept is negative, I'm looking for something that ends with a negative number on the end. Like this. Definitely not like that. Out. Not like this. Out. Maybe it's this. So now it's between 1 and 4. It opens upwards. Okay? So since it's up, a value is positive. So just look for something in front of x squared where there's a positive. So that one is definitely disqualified. Positive in front of the x squared. I like it. We're going with multiple choice 4 on that one. All right, so front of the page, done. Quick as that. Moving on to number 5. Okay. Now this one takes a little bit of thinking, so stay with me on this one. they say that 1, 0 is at -5, and when they say 0, they mean the parabola crosses the x-axis. So I'm just going to say -1, 2, 3, 4, 5. -5. If it crosses the x-axis here and has a turning point of 3, 10. Now I'm really going to do some estimating here. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and 10 is going to be probably somewhere way up here. And my estimating is very, very rough. So a parabola that does this is going to have symmetry and come down over here. Now here's the key. What's the distance from -5 to get to that 3? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 8 units to get to that middle point, okay? The line of symmetry. That means you got to go another 8 units this way to see when we're going to hit that right there. So all we need to do is basically say 3 plus another 8 is going to land you at the other 0. So that has to be 3 plus 8 is 11. Choice number 1. So that one definitely had some reasoning in it, but if you know what zeros are and an axis of symmetry, you're okay. All right, check this out. Which of the following is the turning point? Well, this is already vertex form. And remember, parentheses lie. So that means you see -8, but we're going to accept +8. And of course, no parentheses, that's the truth. That's the vertex right there, 8, -2. Just choose, and we're moving on. Number 7. Which of the following represents the range? Remember, the range is the y values. Lowest to highest, of course. And, well, they give us a hint right here. The a value is negative, so this opens down. And the vertex, or the turnaround point, they give that to us too. Parentheses lie, -5, 10. So that means if you had to graph this, you would go to -5, and you would go all the way up to 10, but the parabola would have to open down because of the negative a value. So I say, what's the lowest y value? Well, remember, they got arrows here, which it means it goes down and just keeps going. Every y value is less than the height of, I didn't draw this fully up here, 10. Okay, so you're looking for anything that's y less than or equal to 10. Choice number 3. Done. Reasoned out. Number 8. The following quadratic can be written equivalently as which one of these? Now, this is not a guess and check. You got to do the work. You have no choice but to complete the square. Okay, I hope you remember that, and I put another video out that showed or reminded you, but first step is to rewrite and make space. Like, no thinking, just take 7 and move them over there out of the way. Then you half it, which is -4, and you square it. And you add 16, and you subtract 16. So again, half it, square it, add it, subtract it. These essentially do nothing, but by grouping these 3 together, you end up having a perfect square, which can be rewritten as take an x, take your minus sign, half of that 8. Okay, so you got y equals, and these two right here just combine to give you -9. And you're looking for this answer, which is right there. So there's no other way. You can't just look at it and hope to know. You just got to complete the square, and you can get that. All right, number 9. Okay, so we're kind of analyzing a graph And we got our basic function, parent function, x squared. Oh, sorry, hit the grid. Hold still. Okay, so this is x squared. Okay, that's basic. And then we got g of x, which is now opening downwards. And honestly, it looks like the arms have squeezed in a little tighter. And I hope you remember that has to do with the a value. So the fact that it's flipped down means the a value has to be negative. And the fact that the arms are squeezed in some means that we are having a bigger no. So this is out. This right here, 1/2 x squared, that's positive. It would open up. This is a no. Well, this is opening downwards, but hopefully you remember that if it was a number less than 1, that would be like arms would relax, you know. So this is definitely a no. But we can accept choice 2. Okay. Now, maybe I'll just keep going. That's only 11 minutes in. We'll do one more. Okay. The solutions to this equation. Well, they set this up, and they were testing you for zero product property. They're saying that this times this times this equals 0. And the only way to multiply and get 0 is if something is equal to 0. Well, technically, you can split all of these. You could write down 5 equals 0, but we all know that's ridiculous, so ignore it. But maybe x minus 1 equals 0, or maybe x plus 3 equals 0. And if you solve each one of these, adding 1, you get x equals 1. That's 1, 0. Minus 3, x equals negative 3. So, answer is 1 and negative 3. We got to go with this. Make sure you don't reverse them. Choice number 1. And remember, your Castle Learning uses the word roots. That is same as 0. So I don't want you to freak out if they use the word roots. They also mean the same as zeros. All right, so now this question, they want you to start to finish, figure it out yourself. Figure out your own solution, which means figure out the zeros. Or figure out the roots, all the same words. All right, so the type of factoring that you see here is a trinomial. So blast from the past, get your parentheses out, and guarantee me this with an x times an x to make this x squared. Things that multiply to be negative 16 for the video's sake. I'm going to go with negative 8 and positive 2 to give me this. So the outers, just a quick check, are 2x, positive 2x. Our inners are negative 8x. That adds up to negative 6x. Okay, so then now we know we got the right answer. Now we do what we did above, and you set each one of these equal to 0, because these are factors. But the zeros are found by actually doing the algebra. So one answer is negative 2, and the other answer is 8. Just keep in mind, whatever these factors are up here, your zeros are opposite. 8, negative 8, and you get an 8. So the roster choice should be a negative 2, positive 8. Let's go with choice 4. All right, I'm going to stop this one here and start up part 2 in a minute.